YouTube? It's your girl DeeDee. Welcome back to another live stream. Happy Tuesday. I hope y'all are doing well. Thank y'all so much for being here. So listen, as you come into the building, make sure you guys are hitting the like button. Hit the like button as you come into the building. Also, if you're new to the channel and you like the content, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. It is free to subscribe. Share and like the content and hit that notification bell to be notified when I upload new content. Listen, before we get started, put a 1 in the chat if y'all can hear me perfectly fine. 1 in the chat if the audio is good. 1 in the chat if the audio is good. Want to make sure that that is good. So make sure you guys are doing that as you come into the building. All right. Shout out to everybody in the building, everybody watching, y'all. I appreciate you guys for being here. Shout out to Lorenzo Redmond in the building. What's going on? LG Divine Photos in the building. What's going on, Divine? We got Michael McCool, Judite Warrior, Pharaoh Ishmael. What's going on, Pharaoh? DeMarcus Vaughn, Marvelous Martin Goon, Ryan Wetlow, Juice, Suma Reese, DeMarcus. Thank you so much for the super sticker, DeMarcus. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. I appreciate you. Listen, as you guys come into the building, make sure you are hitting the like button. We want to make sure that we have just as many likes as we do people in the building. So make sure you hit the like button. Also, if you want to support the channel, you can do that. I ask at least a $5 super chat, or if you can, to support the channel. And also just make sure you like the stream. That supports the channel as well. So make sure you're doing that. All right. So shout out to you guys. Thank y'all so much for being here. Listen, I'm back on the day I'm supposed to be on here, chopping it up with y'all. So make sure you are ready to chime in the chat and give your thoughts on the topics. I definitely want to hear what you got to say. What's going on, J-Rock? How are you? Hope all is well. Michael Lee in the building. Hope y'all are doing well. Yeah, so you guys see the title, right? Y'all see the title. 73-year-old woman, 73-year-old woman is still struggling to find love, child. Plus women just want to finesse men. But I also have a question that I want to pose to you guys, and I want to get y'all thoughts in the chat. So make sure you're ready to chime in. I want to hear what you have to say. So y'all know, all over social media, these conversations are being had about relationships, modern women, men being this and women being that. We just constantly see it all the time. And of course, y'all pretty much know my thoughts about modern women and the state of dating and all of that, because I speak on it every single day. But there's this little clip that I want to share with y'all, and then I want to get y'all thoughts on it, because the question is posed by this woman. Is it really hard for men to give modern women what they want? Is it really hard for men to just give women what they want? And or why is it so hard for men to give women the treatment that they believe and feel they deserve? That was more of the question that was posed. Why is it so hard and they're speaking on black men, for black men to give black women what they feel they deserve? But I want to play this clip, and I may have played this a while back, but it's just interesting how delusional a lot of our women are, and how oblivious they seem when it comes to men and relationships and dating. They just don't seem to get it. Once again, we talked about this yesterday, and this is kind of like picking up from yesterday, of how a lot of women don't have any accountability. They don't see themselves. They don't see where they need to improve and make changes. They just think that they're, this delusional idea of that they're perfect and all of the men are flawed. That is a problem. That is a problem. And why so many women are confused out in these streets when it comes to men and dating, because they don't understand that a lot of the problem is them. They don't want to accept. I'll say this. That's what accountability is: accepting the truth about yourself, accepting that you have issues that you need to work on, and you don't agree with that. So that's why a lot of women are single, in my opinion, is because they don't want to accept the fact.
So hard for black men.
They don't want to accept the fact that they have issues that they need to work on, and they refuse to do it because somehow, somewhere in the matrix, somebody has convinced them and brainwashed them to believe that they're just these perfect individuals and they have no flaws. They do everything right, even though the outcomes don't show that, but they still believe that, and they want men to see them that way. and they don't want to listen to men because they think they're better and they know better and they right. You know what I'm saying? And they just keep, the cycle continues. They keep perpetuating this idea that all women are perfect and all men are troubled and all men are the problem. And you don't see yourself. This is why it's so difficult for women in general to accept any acknowledgement of their flaws. It's hard for women to apologize because they don't see themselves as the guilty parties. No matter how reckless they could be, there's always a justification for a woman's actions. And men can't really speak on it. And they have not, even to this day, if a man has a standard or an opposing view of women, he's automatically shut down by the bonnet brigade. He's shut down by the bonnet brigade. They're not used to men having standards and having opinions and having a say and sticking to those standards. They're used to men just doing what they want them to do and going by what they say and just follow their lead. That's what they're used to. They're used to running the show. The matriarchy has been running the show for quite some time in their own personal lives. They've been running their households. There are no men in the households running it. They're running it, and they're running it down the drain. They're running it into the dirt. You see it in the results of how they raise the children. You see how this children are turning out, how entitled the children are, how ratchet the daughters are, how promiscuous these young women are being raised by their mothers, the way they raise the kids, the way the kids are responding now. We see the result of that. So some of us are not in this delusional state where we actually see what's happening and we accept it and we acknowledge it. But a lot of the ones who are creating this narrative are not the ones who's seeing it the way we're seeing it. They just think there's nothing wrong with. There's nothing wrong with your 5-year-old listening to Sexy Red. There's nothing wrong, according to them, according to the modern women. There's nothing wrong with your daughter twerking to Meg Thee Stallion. There's nothing wrong with your little girl dressing like a grown woman. All of these things is just so fun and so cute. And a lot of the bonnet brigade sisterhood is championing that type of behavior. The majority, now there are some women who push back against it. Let me give them their credit. There are some women, not all women agree with that. But it seems that if the majority of women don't see a problem with that. The modern bonnet crew don't see a problem with it. Oh, it's just cute. They're just kids. Just like these women were taking their kids on, daughter, mommy work week to the strip clubs. I don't know if y'all remember that. They were taking their kids all to work with their moms, and they all was in the strip because that's what they do. Their moms are strippers. That in itself is showing that something's been lost in the matrix. Like something is out of order now that we have a bunch of women who are strippers, and you don't see the problem. It's okay and it's justified that you're selling sex for money. And then on top of that, you don't see a problem with bringing your little girls and your little boys into the strip clubs to show them what mommy does on a daily, and got them practicing and swinging on a pole, the little girls and the little boys. And they don't see anything wrong with that. And they don't see how far off the mark we've become as a society. So they don't see it. Somebody has to speak up and say, hey, this is not it. This is not it. Come on, baby. Y'all got to do better. This is not it. Right? And so now when we talk about, fast forward, we talk about accountability, being accountable for your actions, for the consequences, for the outcomes, and they don't want to accept it. They want it to be equal to men. You want equality. You got it. But you don't want the consequences or the obligation that deals with being equal to men. You only want the things that feel good and look good to you. But when it comes to the hard work that men have to put in to maintain their livelihoods and do what they need to do, now it's a problem. Now they complaining about money and finances and men. When y'all act like men when y'all benefiting, but then when you have to, when it's not benefit you, now you want somebody to do something about it. It's the entitlements for me. But somebody has to speak on it. It's because it's just becoming a major, major issue. But I want to play this little clip, and then I want to get y'all thoughts on it. So make sure you are chiming in the comments, y'all. Make sure you let me know your thoughts. Also, Super Chat or Cash App to support the channel if you can. definitely do that. It definitely helps to support the channel so we can grow, you guys. So make sure you're doing that if you can. Also hit the like button. As Lorenzo Redmond said, 61 watching, but only 49 likes. So make sure you go ahead and hit the like button. Hit the like button. It is free to hit the like button. So make sure you guys are doing that. All right. Here we go. Let's get into this.
The treatment that we see them give. Is it so hard for Black men to give us the treatment that we see them give to women of other cultures so easily?
You have any children?
Yes, I do. I have 5 children.
You have 5 kids. Are all by the same man?
No, they're not. There's 4 different.
Do you have any kids?
Yes, ma'am. I have 4.
How many kids you got, Angel?
I have 4.
Are they all your children by the same man?
No, ma'am.
How many men?
All my kids were by different men.
So 4?
Yes.
Okay, 4 men. Okay.
Nasty. Wait, there's more.
Do you have any kids? How many kids do you have?
I have 3. I have a 15-year-old, I have a 4-year-old, and a 2-year-old.
How many men do you have children by?
3.
Turbulence, people.
So this video was interesting to me, and I've seen this before. I probably played it before. I don't remember. And the thing about it is, they don't see that as a problem. You know, growing up in the hood, they didn't see it as a problem. Everybody was doing it. Everybody getting pregnant. Oh well, that's what you do. You have babies. It was not an issue. But fast forward as you get older and people start to talk about how that is a problem and how it's creating a problem in the community. Now it's like, really? It's a problem? And then there's pushback against it because they don't want to accept the fact that they made a horrible choice. You know, I'm not saying that your child is horrible because the children are always innocent in this. They don't know what's happening. But you realize when you do realize that this may not have been the best decision. And maybe I could have done something more, but you didn't know or whatever. You know, they always use the young and dumb. And I'll give young and dumb on the first offense if you were young and dumb for real. And you didn't have any type of teachings. But when you do it over and over, it's a perpetual thing. No, 3, 4, 5 baby daddies. Hell no, that ain't no mistake. That's a willful act. You know what you're doing. And that's just what you choose to do. So when the consequences start to, catch up to you, accept them. Handle them like a modern woman. You know what I mean? Y'all boss chicks, independent, you don't need no man. Handle the consequences of creating these kids out of wedlock, out of order. And the fact that you didn't prioritize a father for your kids. You just was, getting knocked up by Pookie, who didn't give a damn. And you didn't either. Once again, y'all both were irresponsible. So y'all both have to deal with that. He don't care about being in a child's life, and you didn't care about it either because you opened your legs and gave a baby to a man you knew. You didn't vet. You didn't care. There was no vetting. Y'all was just screwing. This is the part they don't want to accept because there's always a justification behind the actions of a woman. But for men, there's no justifications for your actions. Oh, this is why I don't always blame it on the men. Because, of course, yes, if you're out here throwing your seed all over the place, you're ratchet, in my opinion. But also, if these women had more value for their bodies and themselves, they would not be giving their bodies and then just unprotected to a random who you have not took the time to vet, nor did you care to, and you gave your cooch up to him because you wanted sex too. This is the part that they got, and then a lot of men didn't understand this at some point, that women like sex just as much as men. They get horny just as much as you. And you see by their actions, they're throwing that cooch all around. And for a lot of these women, they believe that it's more beneficial, especially if you're out here trying to get to the bag, trying to use men, trying to finesse men. You're out here. That's why you got a roster. That's why you got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10, 12 niggas in your roster. Why? Because you can get from each one of them. You can get one who's going to pay your rent, one who's going to give you this, give you a little change here and there. He going to take you out to dinner. He going to do this because, because a lot of men were taught too that if you're dealing with a woman and you having sex with her, you should give her something. Men have been told that too. They've been told that too. So he'll get you a little something because he is getting your body. So he might get you a little something. So for you to maximize on that, these women have a roster. That's what the roster is all about. Having multiple men that you can have in your phone that you can call for the different things that you need because you can't get it all from one. So you just holding yourself out here at a cost for food, for a little money here, a few dollars there, because a lot of times they don't be getting a whole lot. That's why they need a roster. If you was getting everything you need from one man, you wouldn't need a roster. but they're holding themselves out, thinking that this is okay, getting a little bit from this one, that one, and that one, just to maintain your livelihood. And you don't see a problem with that, and making babies with them too. So there has to be accountability. I'm sorry that we can't keep going forward through 2025 and 2026 with this idea that women can't be held accountable, because it's ridiculous. And it's the part of the reason, in my opinion, that a lot of these women will stay single and no man won't even give them a chance, because he knows how delusional they are, and the expectations that they expect from them is just through the roof, even though y'all been out here living your lives ratchet for years, giving that your cooch is for the streets. And now you want this man to be loyal to you and give you the most? Where the hell they do that at? And I think any man would be foolish to fall for that. This is not a good woman. This woman is for the streets. How y'all say? Hey, what is it? She ain't for you. It's just your turn or something like that. How y'all say? It is true in a lot of cases, and we can't ignore that. So in order for this to change, it has to start with the women. The women have to become just like they became these modern independent boss chicks. They don't need a man. In order for them to get the type of relationship that they say they deserve and want, you're going to have to be a different type of woman, because that type of energy and that mentality that you have, that you thought was going to be beneficial for you and relationships, it turns out to not to be as beneficial as you thought it would be. It may have worked for you financially in some cases, but it doesn't work for relationships with men. And you could be the boss chick, feeling and thinking and believing in that, all you want by yourself. But when it comes to men who have standards and are not just trying to screw you, ain't gonna take you seriously. They'll screw you. They'll have a good time with you, hang out, and that's all they want. They don't really want to try to wife. These men ain't even talking about getting married. Marriage is off the table for a lot of men because of the quality of women, or the level of the low quality women that are out here. These men are not even thinking that way anymore. So women have changed, and now men have changed. Men, there was a time when men was like, yeah, I want to get married. And there's some men who say that, but they're having a hard time doing it, because when they come across these types of women, they realize, can't do that. Can't do it. Can't do it. And they're not falling for the okie doke. So this is where you have women asking this question. Why is it so hard for men to give women the treatment they feel they deserve? The problem is you feeling. You got to stop feeling. You could feel and believe and think all you want. It doesn't mean in actuality that you deserve what you feel and think you should. What you should get from a man. So they feel they deserve. Why do you feel you deserve anything from a man that you haven't poured into? You haven't given anything to him. He don't owe you anything. But this is how they're thinking. They're thinking, I deserve because I worked hard and I got a degree, and I had my kids, and I went through child labor. It just sounds so stupid, y'all. I had babies. I went through that trauma, so I deserve this, and I deserve a push gift, and I deserve a man who gonna take care of me and my kids, because I had them kids, and I went through child. So now that's somebody else's responsibility, boo. That ain't his child. Y'all, it's like something ain't right. Something is missing. XYZ, thank you for the super chat. It says blessings to you, DeeDee. Thank you so much. I appreciate you for supporting and for being here, XYZ. Thank you for the super chat. Pharaoh, thank you for the super chat. It says D, I'm gonna send this review vid where a black woman cried because she dissed black men and a pookie came to fight her. Oh my God. Recession and feminism bit they a child. Yes, Lord. Please send it to me, Pharaoh. That's crazy as hell. Thank you for the super chat, Pharaoh. I appreciate you. Oh my God. Oh Lord. Y'all crazy. But listen, Pharaoh, thank you once again for the super chat. Says you're releasing an inner a female Malcolm, and is it Khalid? Thank you for the super chat, Pharaoh. I appreciate you. So the funny part, thank you, Pharaoh. The thing that gets to me is the questions and the obliviousness. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, on one hand, you're like, they don't really see it. And then on the other hand, I'm like, well, y'all help us know y'all know what's going on. You know what I mean? One minute, I don't think they're as delusional as they're trying to portray themselves. I think they know what the hell is going on. You just want to play stupid and act like you don't know. Oh my God. Why the men ain't pursuing? Oh my God. Why they not chasing? Why they don't do like they used to do? Y'all don't realize that y'all changed. Just like y'all say, y'all not y'all grandmas and y'all got bank accounts now. So y'all the shit that went to y'all head and now y'all think y'all special and on top and y'all think y'all just the best thing ever. Y'all don't think y'all changed to create the type of men that are out here? You know what I mean? It's like they're playing dumb in a sense to act like they don't know what the hell is going on. When I think they in some cases, I think they do know what's going on. You just refuse, you playing dumb and refuse to accept what's actually happening because you don't want to do anything to change. You don't want to change. You want to put it all on the men. And I always say, listen, everybody needs to work on themselves. Nobody, no male, no female is walking around here perfect. Nobody has it all together. And especially when you're now, when you're by yourself, I'm sure you can think like that. When you don't have nobody else that you got to intertwine with on a daily basis and deal with and live with who have differences, then if you by yourself, you could feel like I got my shit together. Because guess what? No, you don't owe nobody nothing. You pay your own bills. You got your own space. You can come like you go, like you want, do as you please. You're single. You got your shit together. You doing you. But when you're talking about dealing with another person, then that's when you realize, hold up. Now the shit gonna hit the fan because somebody gonna not agree on something. You not gonna agree. She not. Y'all gotta compromise, and some people don't want to compromise. And when you're dealing with another person in a relationship, there has to be compromise. I don't care who you are, and if you want to run the household like my way or the highway, then it's gonna be the highway for a lot of women because a lot of women don't work well in that environment. Women have to say something. We got a mouth. We got to talk, and it bites us in the butt sometimes because sometimes women don't know how to shut up. But when you're in a relationship, women have to compromise. Women have to compromise. I think men have to compromise. I think both have to compromise on certain things. And I think one of the things women need to learn to do is to shut up sometimes. Everything don't need a reply. Be quiet. My husband would say the shut the F up job pays really well. He says it. The shut the F up job pays well. Sometimes you got to learn how to be quiet and just listen. You don't always have to respond or listen to respond. Listen to what the man is saying. A lot of women don't know how to do that because they don't want to, quite frankly. They don't want to. You just because you think you're right. So you got to say what you think is right, everything you think is right, and he's just supposed to listen to you. But if you want him to listen to you, you got to listen to him. Equal playing field, right? You got to be able to listen too. I think certain things in a relationship need to be compromised, and I think certain things don't have to be compromised. I think when you have a man who has a plan and he's been leading himself and he's leading a family, he knows certain things a woman should be off limits to. I think certain things when it comes to a man's choices and certain things that he has, that he knows what he's navigating, I think women need to step back. That ain't your place. But I do think when it comes to certain things, there should be some compromise. But, once again, Black women don't want to compromise on anything. You don't want to listen, just the bare listening and being quiet you don't want to do. And you don't want to hear anything he has to say because you've been raised under this independent, single boss chick woman from the project. She was a boss chick, but she lived in the projects. I'm just saying she controlled everything and she told y'all what to do. And so you grew up seeing that. So now you as a woman think that you need to be in control and you need to be leading it all. And a man, because there wasn't a man present, you think he's secondary to you. And that becomes an issue for any relationship. And that's going to be an issue for any man who's in control of his life and leading his own life. He's not going to let a woman come in and tell him what to do. So I think women got to understand that. And I think they're having a hard time. I saw a clip of a lady who was saying, men just need to be quiet and just let us be women. I don't know how many times I've responded to that where, look, it's one thing when I say women, we're emotional creatures. That's not going to change. That's a part of our DNA. We're emotional beings. We're going to be that. But when you're talking about just rude and obnoxious and just ghetto and demanding and controlling towards a man, that's not part of being a woman. I don't think just because you're a woman, that's what you're supposed to be. And they try to lump and throw all that in there like, oh, just let a woman just be a woman. Just let her do whatever she wants. That's what they're saying. Just let her do whatever she wants. You just accept it and take it. No, that's not how that goes. That's not what that means. There's certain instinctual traits that women have, just like men do, that you can't change. A masculine man, he's going to be masculine. You can't make him feminine. Same thing with a feminine woman. She's feminine. You can't make her masculine. You can't make her turn her into a staunch, non-emotional woman with no feelings whatsoever. That's just typically mostly not going to happen. Even the hardest women, the hardest studs still have emotions and feelings. Listen to the way they talk. You listen to the studs, they might talk like this. Yeah, little shorty. I met the little shorty. How they talk? I don't know how they talk. I'm assuming that's how they talk, y'all. My bad. Might be a bad impersonation, but I see some of the studs that talk heavy. Yeah, I met this little short, but they still talk like women for the most part. In what they say, the emotions and the feelings and all, they're still there. They still even move like a woman a lot of times. You could put the do-rag on your head and wear the wife beater with the jeans or whatever, the shorts or whatever they be wearing, because they always wear a wife beater with a do-rag on their head or something, trying to look like a man, but with the shorts hanging down with the drawers showing. They'll look like that, but they still look like a woman. You can still see the femininity of the woman in there, even no matter how hard they try to stand and move like a man. You can still see that that's a woman. So I don't know. It's certain things you just can't change. But there are certain things they try to lump in there to make you think it's okay to just be ratchet and disrespectful and talking crazy to a man and getting in his face and all that. Nah, you shouldn't be doing that. That's not a part of that. Let's not get it twisted. But anyway, so I think it's interesting when I hear women asking why the men don't give women the treatment, because a lot of you quite frankly, don't deserve it. To be honest, you're not the quality of women that deserve that type of treatment. And just because the Bonnet Brigade, Bonnet crew told you that every woman is a 10 and we need to be treated like royalty, doesn't mean that that's true. Doesn't mean that that's true. Y'all don't possess the type of behavior, the type of charisma or character that will warrant a man looking at you and saying, oh, she's different. Oh, she's not like the rest. Oh, that's a respectable lady. We don't see a lot of respectable ladies. We see twerking Bonnet Brigade crew. We see big hyenas. We see big backs. We see big backs twerking on the tables, thinking that they're 10s. We see ratchetness. We see aggressiveness, manliness, independent boss chicks. I don't need you standing around with big backs and wigs on. That's what we see. Entitled, thinking you walk up trying to talk. Why do you think you can even approach a 10? You know what I mean? That type of energy. And so that's not the type of energy that these men are looking at to say, well, oh my God, these are some nice young ladies. Oh my God, I want to get to know her. I can go up and have a conversation with her. She's very nice and feminine. We don't see that. That's not the majority of what we see. We see a lot of gangster chicks that got it in a bag and they showing you and telling you. And you approach them, they talking to you crazy. So why would any man in his right mind want to look at that as something special and say, oh yeah, I want that masculine ratchet man over there. Oh yeah, woman acting man or whatever, male acting woman. We want her. We gonna just spend all we got on her because she is that lit. She look good. We don't care if she's 300 pounds. We don't care if she got a big back. We don't care if she entitled. She wants you to spend $300 on the first date to prove your loyalty to what? Like, come on. This is why these men are not taking these women seriously, and they don't get it. They're getting it because they're realizing these men aren't approaching. So they're starting to realize, but they still acting oblivious as to why. No man in his right mind wants no woman like that. Come on now. And they don't get it. They're shocked. They're like, I don't get it. They're literally saying they don't get it. Why? Anyway, it's just crazy to me though. I just think they don't, it's like they're so stuck in their ways and they're stuck in believing what they've been taught, and they think that is just what it's supposed to be. These men are supposed to be head over heels for us, even with our Bonnet crew and big backs and BBLs. They just supposed to be running behind us, and they're not, because y'all are not listening to what men are saying. And once again, I say this over and over and over. I think men have been more tolerable of BS from women from the gate. I think there have been some men from back in the day who didn't tolerate none of this. And, back in the day, they gonna set you straight. And that's what women didn't want. You didn't want to deal with those men from back in the day who was, a little confused in the head and stuff. They knocked the shit out you. Even though I don't condone violence, but I'm just saying back in the day, some of those men, they wasn't, you say something crazy, pop, and that's it, and knock you right back straight. And you're not trying to, say nothing to him. You're going to go do what you need to do and shut the hell up, see? But now, fast forward, men know that if they take that route, they're going to jail. You going to jail. And, I don't agree with anybody putting hands on anybody. But back then, a lot of those women didn't run from those relationships. A lot of them, quite frankly, they stayed because there was some real discipline going on in there. I'm just saying. And now women, have, evolved, I guess, from that. And they realize, that's not, nobody wants that. But now it's gone completely opposite. It's all the way, went from some structure, even though it wasn't in the best way, to no structure at all. To now, it's just, they're just doing whatever. And now it's difficult for any man to be with these modern women because they want to do what they want to do. There's no order, there's no structure, there's no nothing. It's almost like having children that you don't chastise, children that you don't teach right from wrong, having children that you're the parent, but you let them do whatever they want to do. And what happens? That child ends up becoming entitled and they don't have no respect for authority. They talk to, I watched video of a girl screaming at the police and cussing and everything. And the mom was standing right there like, that's a normal thing. No respect for authority, no respect for their elders, no respect for anybody. They talk to people just like they see their mothers talk to people. They have no respect or none of that. They end up getting themselves into trouble because, and that's what usually happens. And that's typically children who are being raised by mothers because they don't check their children. It's like not giving them the tools that are needed to be successful in life and then complain and blame the man once again, why they're acting out because he wasn't there. Well, you was there. So you was there. Why didn't you do a good job in making sure that this child was raised the proper way? The father wasn't there, but that would insinuate that the child needs a father, that the father would be the one who would be able to reel that child in and teach him the right ways. But because you didn't prioritize that, you just was having sex and got a baby. Y'all both were irresponsible and you was left to raise the child came out like this. So that would be more your fault, right? Because you was there and the child was messed up. So that means you don't know how to raise a child, and especially a son. And typically that's what happens. The sons get out, out of order because they had you. So that means you don't have the tools. So wouldn't that ring a bell in your head to say, you know what they're saying, maybe I don't agree with everything, but maybe there's some truth to what they're saying about a child needs a father. And so I'm not going to try to keep the father out the child's life. And in fact, I'm going to start, doing things to make sure that the father is included. And I'm not going to keep having children out of wedlock and raise them by myself because I see that this is not the best route for the child. You would think the common sense would kick in and they would start to realize that this is not the best way to do this. And they would make changes. This is kind of what we were talking about yesterday. I understand people making mistakes because I know none of us are perfect. We all have made some type of mistake, whether we accept it or not. But you have to learn and do better at some point. And what we see far too often is people making mistakes and they're making the same old mistake over and over and over and over and over, and they're not learning from it, and they don't see the problem with it. That's what I said. Pharaoh says, "Whoop that trick" song ran in their head back then. Whoop that trick. Whoop that trick. I know what you're talking about, child. That's crazy. But a lot of this was going on way before that, Pharaoh. Of course, you know that. Thank you for the super chat, Pharaoh. I appreciate you. Child. But it's crazy. All right, y'all, let's move on. I want to pull up this other clip. Just give me a second. Make sure you guys are hitting the like button. Please hit the like button.
Wow.
Hit the like button.
Wow, ladies. Wow. 55,000 women caught in a group chat talking about how they finesse men out of money. 55,000 women caught in a group chat discussing on how they can get their light bills paid car note paid, rent paid, how they can get a new purse, some new shoes. This is disgusting. $55,000. Y'all need to do better. Y'all need to do better. Guys, share this post. 55,000 women trying to finesse us.
Okay, I mean, listen. This is what I speak about all the time. It shouldn't be a shock, because this is what a lot of them are. They're desperate. I said it yesterday. They're desperate. They're in desperation mode. They got to get it how they live it. That's what they say. They got to get it. And if it ain't going to be you, it's going to be the next one. Whoever is going to give me something, you know what I'm saying? Like, they need something to they got to get something. You know, they ain't leaving unless they get something. So if you willing to give them something, they going to take it. They're in desperation mode. They're in desperation mode. They're losing jobs left and right. You know, the government assistance is wearing off. You know, they're not going to be able to finesse that for too much longer. They're cutting them off. Section 8, the housing going to run out. And you know, none of them really prepared for this because they thought they could get it for a lifetime. And some of them have gotten it for a lifetime. Their mothers, they got it for a lifetime, pass it down to them. Oh, girl, go get your Section 8, go get your food stamps, girl. Like it's a rite of passage. Girl, go get, like get that baby. You better go get them food stamps. You better go get that Section 8. You better go get that cash app. What is it? Cash assistance, whatever. You better go get it. Never, but also at the same time claiming to be the most educated with all these degrees. And most, even though you're going to school and get a degree, you still on Section 8. You still depending on the government for housing or cheap housing or free housing. When they cut that off, when that's completely gone away, what are you going to do then? You don't have a bunch of simps to take care of you. You don't have a husband there. Y'all would, that y'all would have been working together. You don't want to do that. You want a man to pay it all, and men saying, hell no, you can work, you making money, you gonna contribute, baby. Your money ain't just to go off and buy wigs with. No, you work and you make some money, you gonna contribute into this. This is our household. You have women out here who would rather, we saw the video, there's another video where they would rather pay their own bills 100% than go 50-50 with a man. So you don't want no man. Okay, cool. Do you. That's that independent boss chick stuff. Go ahead, pay your 100%. That way you can move like a 304 like you want, because that's why they want to do that, because they know they can have, having a man or a husband means some type of structure. You have to answer to him, basically. You can't just do what you want, unless y'all got an open relationship. And even they have rules with them open relationships. So you don't want a man, you rather pay 100% and do you, because you're able to come and go and have a roster. That's the only reason why. That way you get more from these. Like I said earlier, having one man means structure. You two, the expectation, if you're not in an open relationship, is that, hey, we're going to be together. We're in a committed relationship or a marriage. We're with each other. It's just the two of us. Ain't no roster. I'm sorry. When that cooch get an itch to go off and, get some new meat, you can't do that. So they don't want that. They want to be open and free to get new meat whenever they want to, because that's just how they used to roll. And this is why I say, once you've been out in them streets for too long now, when you've given that thing to the streets for too long, you them 40, 30, 40s, it's going to be difficult for you to be with one man and be satisfied. That's why I say that could be a problem. While I do think that people could change, but that change has to come early on. I'm sorry. That's just my opinion. I think you got to be still in you got to be young enough to be able to have time to change that mindset and all that. But if you've been hoeing for 20 and 30 years, child, it ain't no one man ain't gonna be enough for you. So you gonna get with that man because he's a provider, and you still gonna be out here searching new meat every chance you get. He go to work every chance you get. You getting towed up, ran down with somebody. who ain't giving you a dime, because you don't need him to give you a dime now, because you got a super simp here taking care of you. So you got a man here taking care of you, so you could just go and screw freely whenever you get a chance, and you don't got to ask for nothing. You could just, go over, boom, bada bang, get it done, and go back home and act like you this loving wife. So yeah, being out in the streets as a 304, that's gonna be difficult to change up. And so this is why when you see older women who have been single for so long, it's like nobody's believing that you won't be this lovely wife, and so that there is a downside to that. I was talking about Sierra yesterday. Y'all know, listen, I'm a Gemini. Sometimes I could go back and forth with stuff, but when I realize and think about it, I'm like, no, certain things you just can't change. Even though I believe in change, some things, I don't think so. That's when you've been out there for too long. I think when you've been out there, now if you've had a relationship with somebody for a while and it didn't work out or whatever, it don't necessarily mean it don't necessarily mean that you for the streets and that you a hoe. But I'm saying for the ones who've been, bopping it and throwing it and busting it for everybody for years and years and years, and then all of a sudden you hit them 40s, you're like, I want a man, I want to settle down. I need a corny man to come and take care of me. God, child, please get the hell out of here. Ain't nobody falling for that shit. Y'all, these women will not be, I don't think that they could be loyal. I think that's going to be an issue, because you need years and years and years of therapy to erase all them other meats out of your mind. You know what I mean? You need years and years, even if that will work. I would assume to erase all of those meat experiences that you've had over the years. And then now you tell me you got this one man that you're going to be loyal and committed to, and he's going to have to do all kind of tricks to please these type of women. Then, that's what ran through is all about. Been ran through so much now, like, what's her name? Faith Evans said she done had Mad D when she was a little girl. Now it don't even faze her, child. She tried to flip it up in words. She's like, she had Mad D, and so now it don't even do nothing for her. That's when you've been ran through, in my opinion. When you've been ran through so much, you get to the point where you need double D's. You need big, enormous, out of this world D's to give you some type of feeling. I'm just saying, I'm not trying to be vulgar, y'all. I'm just saying, that's just what I'm thinking. Like, you're not gonna be pleased by the man. Ain't gonna be able to please you. Like this man would have to be a miracle worker to please these kind of women. When you've been flipped inside out, up, down, all over with all these things, how one man is going to please you? I don't see it. So this is why they got to go out and they got to go back on the search whenever they got to sneak and dip it and do it and go get bust down by I don't know how many. That's why I was saying about the Cassie situation. She leaves, cheats on her husband. She goes and gets a husband and children, and then goes back over to the diddler and let the whole, whatever they did to her, just because she used to it now. She used to it. And I think that's going to forever be a problem. It's not going to just like go away. You know what I'm saying? That's not going to go away. You're used to it now. You know what I mean? And while I do think, if you think about the flip side of it, okay, say a woman who is not a 304, right? And she's only been with one man, or she had a couple of partners or whatever in her lifetime. That is not a 304 to me. And if those were like encounters or relationships or whatever, that's a person who I don't consider that a 304. And because she's just probably not that type of girl. So that's, to me, like, wow, I do think there are women who started out as virgins and was not promiscuous. They got a taste and they start getting out there, but they got to get out there and you start doing it and you do it. And then next thing you know, you really doing it. And now you become a 304. That's possible. But there are some women who just don't move like that. And that's not really who they are. And they've had, they're not a virgin, but they've had, sexual relations with a few men, but ultimately they're not a pass around. They realize, no, I want to be in a relationship. I don't want to be for the streets. And that's just not, every woman is not for the streets. Every woman don't want to be for the streets. So it's going to be difficult for that woman to just let go and just go out there and screw everybody, because that's not who she is. That's not what she wants. So there are women who just have certain morals and certain boundaries. I think, you as a person, as a human, you should have certain boundaries. There should be some line that you don't cross. There should be something that you just won't do. Because in this day and age, and this is not new, but it's just exposed on social media. This stuff been happening, but social media has really put it out there in real time. There's some people who don't have no boundaries. Like there's nothing you won't do. You will just do anything for anybody. Like he ain't got to be your man. He ain't got to be your husband. And there some women will do that, and there are men too who would just do anything. Those type of people scare me. Because it's like, damn, I don't trust you. You don't have no kind of boundaries. I don't care. Your some boundaries, or some people won't tolerate much. Some people will tolerate a little bit more, but some people just let anything go. Those type of people scare me. There are people out here who have no boundaries. They will do anything. And that's kind of scary. Pharaoh says, so she platinum medal ran through. Exactly. Yes, Pharaoh. I mean, you get ran through to a point to where there's no point of return. You can't return. You can't redeem yourself. You can't go backwards. That's just what it is. And those are the type of women that I think it's going to be hard to say, oh, now I'm a faithful woman and I want one man and he's going to suffice. No, he's not. That's why they want a man with all this money. Because for you're going to cheat on him, but you need to get something out of it. So you know that you can't be faithful to him, but you need to, you just know that you're not going to be faithful. So if anything, I think a woman who's been for the streets and get her husband, she has to be the one to you have to put like a private investigator on her or something. I mean, if you decide to be with her, watch her, because she might get that itch and then it's going to be a wrap. You know what I'm saying? She's going to be she's still for the streets. She never stopped being for the streets. She just locked you in. John Tell said, so ran through now. They need carnival size D. Yeah. It's hot. These lights making me sweat. Yep. Yes, they do. Child. I'm just saying. This is why they be. Look, child, listen. I said I need to write a book. I got some stories, but I don't want to tell nobody else's story. But I know a few. And Lord have mercy. Yes, they talk about it. Woo, Yes. But they have they have surgeries, There are surgeries where you could go and take it down a notch. You know what I mean? You can do that. A lot of the corn stars have done it. They go and they get that thing taken down so they could be like a virgin again. So you can go and play with that if you want. You know what I'm saying? Maybe that'll help. I don't know, but that's still not going to change the fact that they're going to get that ran out and bust open again. I'm just saying, you're going to go get that stretched out again. You still, that don't mean you're going to be faithful. Go get that done because you want to keep going, So for whatever man decides to go with that would be the thing that you would have to be concerned about. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's just crazy. But that's what happens. They get to the point where they've been ran through so much, nothing does it for them. So you need carnival size D. You need multiple ones, because there's some, and I'm getting off of this because this is getting too far. But there's some women who need, 2 at a time. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like 2 at a time. Have you ever heard that? Like they need double, which is crazy to me. There's all kind of shit happening. They need double. I'm just saying, like literally 2 at once. There's that too. So if that's what you want, that's what you want. That's your business. Do you? But if you're not, if you're not trying to go that route and you have to deal with those issues, just stay away from those type of women, because it's going to run you crazy. You're going to be, these men going to be, can't work. They're going to be wondering what their woman doing. God damn, always stressed out, calling her every minute, trying to find out where she at. She don't answer the phone. You know what's going to happen. But you put yourself in that predicament and you think, otherwise, I mean, it may not be that. And shout out to you for trying. Like I said, you're trying, but if it end up in this situation, you already know. You already know. They already be suspecting it, but they try to take a chance because they like her so much. She's so fine. She looks so good. And then you be like skeptical, but you're like, God damn, but I'm gonna give it a chance. Shout out to you for giving it a chance. I mean, I guess. But then, you know, you're gonna always be worried and worrying about her every move, what she doing, where she going because of that past. You know what I'm saying? So if you don't want to be out here looking crazy and trying to worry about her whereabouts and what she gonna do and what she not gonna do, don't do it. Because that you, to me, a relationship can't work if you don't have trust. If you don't trust each other, then that's a waste of time. It's gonna end up ending anyway. You got to be able to trust the person that you with. And if you coming into the, you know, to the relationship with this lack of trust, then y'all not gonna go too far. You're not gonna go too far. You got to be able to trust each other, you know. And that's where you have, you know, these women holding their phones. They got these videos of these women, you know, where they swap phones with their boyfriends or their husbands, and they like the man. A lot of the men be like, here. Honestly, a lot of the men be like, here, you can look at my phone. There you go. That tells you a lot right there. Then when they get to the woman, she's like, you need to look all through my phone, and then they be skeptical about it. I'm like, when you see that, if you can't listen, if your woman is scared for you to look in her phone, child, red flag. Period. Red flag. If she don't want you to look at her phone, she hides something. Straight up. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. There's no way my husband could take my phone here all day. You could keep it all day. Same with him. He first off, he ain't really a social media type person that much anyway, but he have nothing but music on his phones because he used some phones and put music, and there's all kind of music on it. But I can have his phone all day. Child, remember the time we shared a phone. How you think somebody could share a phone in this day and age? How you share a phone? We shared a phone. Literally shared a phone. When I think about it, I'm like, oh damn, that was. But we shared a phone early on. Like he would go to work and leave me with the phone, or you know, when he come back, or if he needed it, we shared a phone early. I'm like, dang, nobody would be able to do that these days. But yeah, I mean, you can take my phone, you can keep it all day. But if you got somebody that don't want you in their phone, I'm sorry, that's a red flag. Is it Aquamini? I hope I'm saying that. Aquamini, the villain. I hope I'm saying that right. The hyenas will come back since the government jobs and perks have no use for them after destroying the households. But the brothers are gone by then. What's up, fellow Gemini? What's going on? Thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate you. I hope I'm saying your name right. Yeah, they're gonna realize it when it's too late, per usual. Most people realize things when it's too late. You realize the mistake when it's too late. The men are being moved on. They're already moving on. They don't trust them. They're like, nah, we don't trust you. And so they're just not interested either. So yeah, that's why I say they're going to have to do a lot of the very thing they don't want to do. They don't want to, you don't feel like you need to do anything for a man. That's what they're going to end up trying to do, trying to beg and do things to get the man's attention because out of desperation because you need help. And the men still, you know, it's going to put them in a precarious situation, a lot of women, because we get to a desperate situation. And I don't know if it's going to get that desperate, but I'm just saying, if a lot of these women are dependent on the government assistance and they don't get it, and you dependent on men to help you out, and the men have walked away, what else you going to do? So somebody going to be out here begging for some help. I'm just saying. Thank you for the super chat. It's just crazy, y'all. It's crazy. So yeah, once again, if you got a woman, you got a man, you can't go in them phones, child, that's a red flag. You got something you hide. There shouldn't be no reason why your wife, husband, girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever can't go on your phone. I'm sorry. Unless you chatting it up with some chick or she chatting it up with some dude and y'all trying to get something going and you don't want your significant other to find that out. If you ain't got none of that in your phone, you ain't got nothing to hide, there's no reason why they can't see your phone. All this shit about, oh, that's my private property and I can't. Bullshit. I'm saying it. I'm just saying it. It's BS, y'all. In my opinion. You don't have to agree. It's okay. In my opinion, I think that's a bunch of BS. I think when you hear people talking about it's my personal property, you don't need to go through my phone. Well, if you ain't hiding nothing, why I can't go through it? If you can go through mine, I should be able to go through yours. That's it. And first off, it shouldn't be an issue in the first place. You know, it shouldn't even be an issue about any of that. It's like, you know, if your phone's sitting down and people try to do a 20-yard dash to get that phone out your hand, then baby, red flag. If one day you just see your wife's phone on on the couch and you go, oh, pick it up to go give her a phone. She gave me my phone. Oh, baby. Now you need to look in that mother. You need to look in there now because she is hiding something. So everybody keep everything in them damn phones. Okay. And then you also gotta, just FYI, and then we're gonna move on. Also, you have to consider everything in the phone because they have those. There was a funny video about this. They have the group text. What is it? The Facebook group chats. It could be in there. They could disguise it under different things. Group chats from Facebook. You got to pay attention to that. All kinds of stuff. Private messages, all that stuff. Because women are a little bit more cunning and a little bit more intricate than men. Women they're a little bit more creative, shall I say. So if you really suspect something, baby, pay attention. If you don't care, then don't look. Don't worry about it. But if you care, pay attention. Pay attention. Because that stuff should not be something should be of a concern, whether you go on somebody's phone or not. I've seen too many videos of people talking about, well, that's my private property. And no, my wife can't go in my phone or my man or my woman can't go in my phone. Baby, I don't give a damn. That would be suspect to me. I'm sorry. That's just me, y'all. Because I never had that issue. But I just think that if you don't have anything to hide, why me as your wife, I can't go in your phone? Vice versa, you can go in my phone all day, keep it all day. You can listen. There ain't nobody really calling. So that's what I'm saying. Like, go ahead. And anybody call, you know them. You know what I'm saying? You know who they are. So, and I don't know. Maybe I've been married a long time. So I'm just like, you know what I'm saying? It's just that way. But and I'm like, not when you're just dating a person, because you could be dating multiple people, So I don't think when you first date somebody, you should be trying to go through their phone. But I'm talking about when you've established a relationship or you're in a marriage and all that. Nah, this shouldn't be an issue. That's just my thoughts on that. Anyway, y'all, let's go ahead and move on. I want to move on to the next clip. Make sure you are hitting. Let me see how many likes we got. 139 watching, 127 likes. Go ahead and get the likes up, y'all. Go ahead and get the likes up. Hit the like button, hit the like button, hit the like button. Let's move on. Now let's move on.
Like you've been here before.
Yes.
Do you have an update?
No, I don't have an update. I want to do it again.
Now, this woman, she was on the Kendra G show before. I think I covered her the first time. This lady is 73 years old, if I'm not mistaken, 72 or 73. And she was on the Kendra G show before, and then she came back because she still can't find a man, child. She still can't find a man. I wonder why. Y'all let me know why in the chat. Hit the like button, please. Hit the like button, please. Hit the like button, y'all. Please hit the like button. Let's continue.
Okay, well, what happened? Kendra G Singles, the dating app, is available now on iPhones and Android phones. What happened? What was the experience?
It wasn't no experience.
No one reached out to you?
Well, they reached out to me, but they wasn't right.
What was wrong with them?
What was wrong with them?
Yes.
There was a lot of older men. I know I'm my age, but...
How old are you?
I'm 73.
And you didn't want nobody around your age?
No. Because men around my age thinking I'm full of shit. Excuse the French. But they think I'm full of shit, which I'm not.
So what age range do you want to date, Carol?
50 to maybe 70.
Okay. So any man between 50 and 70 reach out to you?
No.
So Carol, if a man in that age group doesn't want to date you back, what you gonna do?
I can't do nothing.
You can't.
So would you date the man that wants to date you around your age then?
No.
No.
Okay.
Because all they want to do is lay in the bed. And I'm very active.
Okay. Carol, where you call me from again, honey?
Lancaster, California.
Okay, and what you do for a living, baby? Are you retired?
Yes, I am.
Do you have any kids?
I have 2.
How old are your 2 kids?
2 kids, 40 and 16.
Both by the same man?
No.
Have you ever been married?
Yes.
When did you get divorced?
Been married.
Back in 92.
Okay. All right. So we got Carol, Lancaster, California. She's retired, mom of 2 kids by 2.
Official statue of Big Shirley. Thank you for the super chat. Says this Kendra caller is my mama. Be nice to her, chat. Okay. I'm so sorry. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate you, child. Thank you. Let's continue.
Man was once married. We started off from the top early. No men her age. She's 73. Between the ages of 50 and 70 only. What kind of men are you looking for?
I'm looking for a good man.
That's
A
it.
good man to like to do what I like to do.
Okay, what you like to do, Carol?
I'm very active. I like to go to the beach. I like to do active things. You know, I like to travel.
What are your deal breakers?
My deal breakers, no liars, no cheaters. That's about it.
Should he look a certain way?
No, not really. I don't want no ugly man.
No ugly man. Okay.
No.
Should he make a certain amount of money?
About 60K.
Okay, 60K. What? Let's do the Kendra Cam, Carol.
All right.
Carol. Carol. Now listen. Why does she look so mean? That's another thing I noticed too. Why a lot of modern women and old women look so begrudgy? You know, they look mad. You know what I mean? They don't smile at all. They just look pissed. Why y'all look so pissed off? Like, just look, I smile a lot. I don't have nothing to be mad and begrudge it about. Like, what? Why do they so angry looking? Like, they don't even look happy in life. They look mad and miserable. I don't get that, Lord. Even if, you know, you didn't, if things aren't going the way you thought they should go or whatever, this is how I know a lot of these women aren't happy, because they don't seem like happy individuals. Now every now and again, I come across a few women who seem like genuinely happy with their lives and they're just looking for companionship. But a lot of these older women, they always look mad. They always look pissed off and just like the world is caving in. Like, what? You alive, you breathing. You should be happy about that. I'm just saying. But once again, maybe it's just me. Let's continue.
You do look small. Got you, Carol. What? We got.
What's so funny, Kendrick?
Huh?
Kendra, what is so funny?
It looked like you were trying to twerk when you were on the.
Boop, I can do that.
You want to show us?
Yeah.
Oh, no, don't do it, man. No, don't do it. Oh, God. No, man.
All right.
Yeah, she ain't fat.
What else you want to see?
That's it.
Come on. We don't. No.
I'm not sure if that was twerking, though, but I see what you're saying.
You don't need to twerk.
No, you don't.
Don't do that.
I don't what, Carol?
You tired, ain't you?
Yeah, but I still don't think that was twerking.
I know how to twerk. I was standing on my bed where you can hardly see me.
I can see.
I know how to twerk.
But that wasn't twerking.
Well, what is twerk? Can you show me what twerking is?
Nope, I can't show you what twerking is.
Okay, that's my twerking, whatever you call it.
Attitude. Look, Kendra.
Why are you looking like that? You must be tired, Kendra.
To attitude. Kendra trying to compose herself. But see, the only thing, Kendra, I would say, do the same energy for the men, because Kendra be jumping on the men. But these women, that lady clearly has an attitude. And the first time she's on it, she had an attitude. I'll be like, girl, stop. Swat Jones, thank you so much for the super chat. Says if somebody don't come get Billie Jean off the screen, man, like where them grandkids at when you need them? Save her, man. Oh my god! You know, Trey mentioned at least she not fat, right? But she look like the scarecrow a little bit. I'm just saying, She look a little, off balance because as you get older now, you gotta start wearing that little metal bracelet thing. That little bracelet to keep your balance, child, because you do become off balance, so I don't know, but thank you, Swat Jones. Thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate you. Let's continue.
What? Tired.
I've been taught to respect my elders.
See?
Come on now. Respect your elders, but
so I'm gonna refrain. Because I was taught as a child that you always respect your elders. So I'm going to refrain from going on.
Okay.
When was your last relationship, Carol?
6 months ago.
Okay. Was he between the ages of 50 and 70?
He was 48.
Oh, wow. Bring the camera back down so we can see your face more.
Any 48-year-olds in the chat? Would y'all date her? I'm just saying, would you date a 72-year-old, 73-year-old, like at 40, 48? Would you date a 73-year-old? I'm just saying. I just want to know. Hustle the Great, thank you for the super chat. Says definition of buy. Are you trying to say buy a dog and die alone? Thank you for the super chat, Hustle the Great. I appreciate you. Oh my God. Hell no. Oh my God. Why not? I mean, shoot. Oh my God. Okay. Hell no. Hell no. No.
Why did that end?
Why did it end?
Yes.
Because he was full of shit.
What made him full of shit?
Because I've been with him 20 years. Okay? So.
He's 48, so you was with him when he was 28?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
That's right.
Why didn't y'all get married?
Why didn't we get married? Because he wasn't married material.
Why'd you stay with him for 20 years then?
That's a $65 question.
When was the last time you was intimate with someone? You don't have to answer.
I will not answer that.
Okay. 3 flaws you have to work on.
Smiling. Another one is progap.
What?
Smiling.
Progap.
Going out more. That's about it. That's all I can think of.
Girl. You don't have a 3rd flaw?
I do, but I can't think of the 3rd flaw.
Why would a man be lucky to be with you?
Why would he be lucky to be with me?
Can't you be knowing what's up?
Like I said, that's a $65 question.
Yeah.
Well, it's the question you have to answer. That's the last question.
Okay. Why would he be lucky to be with me? Because I'm blessed.
Because she's blessed.
I can't tell.
Do you want him to be in Lancaster, California?
No.
You'll travel.
Right.
Okay. Does he have to buy your plane? Do he have to buy your plane ticket when you go to him?
Does he? No.
Okay. So we got Carol. She is in Lancaster, California. She's 73, retired, mom of 2 kids by 2 men. She was once married. No men in her age category. She'll date 50 to 70. Make at least 60K. She likes to do things, so you have to be an active individual. You are on the dating app, correct, Carol?
Yes.
What's your name on the app, honey?
Carol Fulford.
How do you spell your last name?
Fulford.
Ful. Okay, is it one word?
Fulford, yeah.
I don't see FUL. What else is your spell Fulford?
FUL, huh?
Spell it all the way.
FULFORD.
I don't see you. Do you know your username?
Coffee.
Oh, your username is Coffee.
Uh-huh.
There's a couple of, I see Coffee, but I don't see you as Coffee. I do think you're on the app though because of the first time when you was here.
Yeah, I am on the app. But I think you had you had got another app or something like that.
Well, we upgraded. That was last November when we upgraded.
No, last year, yeah, November.
Hustler. Why would you say that? Why would you say that? Why would you? Hustler instinct. Why would you say Y'all have ass. Why would you say that? Y'all stupid. Wait, now this one caught me off guard. Why would you say that? Why would you say that? Hustler, instinct. Why would you say that, bro? She looked. Oh, Lord. Oh, my God. Oh.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Okay, let me move on. That was just, I couldn't hold back. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, y'all. Why would you say that?
Oh my God.
Oh, Lord. Lord, help me, Jesus. Lord. Baby, I'm going to tell my husband about this. Why would you say that? I'm just curious. Why would you say it? He said he bet money. That thing smell like pee.
Oh my
God. Okay, let's move on. Y'all a trip. I'm sorry. That's crazy. Oh my God. Have mercy. Oh, Jontel says it's like D is Dorothy watching the lions and Scarecrow get into it. I'm ready to hear you sing. Ease on down the road. I'm just wait. Which recall? Listen, thank you, Jontel. I appreciate you. Y'all crazy as hell. I'm just like, why would this man see? I bet she smell like pee. Why? How did you come to that conclusion? Oh my God. All right, y'all. Baby, listen. Now I'm thinking about that. Let's continue. Y'all.
November 25th.
Yeah, you actually know a lot. That is true. Okay, but we need your username because I don't see it under Carol.
Well, that's my user's name, Carol.
CAROL, correct?
Right.
That attitude. Look, you're dealing with it though.
Let me try your last name again.
You need to cuss him out.
F as in Frank, U
No,
L.
I see it on the screen.
Okay.
Okay. So, Carol, log back into your account and double check your username. And then let me know. I'm going to get somebody else right now. Okay.
All right. Bye.
Bye. Kendra G Singles, the dating app, is available now on iPhone.
Nasty attitude. Oh my God. It's just a mess. Let's see here. Child. Divine Photos, thank you for the super chat. Says Kendra show has been on for 5 years with no end result of marriage, but sisters, young, old, and even the Grim Reaper keep calling like fools. Right. They desperate. They're gonna try, they're gonna make any attempt to try to get something, child. Thank you, Divine Photos. I appreciate you for the super chat. Oh Lord, y'all. Yeah, that last comment messed me up. I ain't gonna lie. I'm just like, wait a minute. Wait a minute. All right, I got another one for y'all. I got another one. I'm gonna go ahead and pull up this other clip that I've been wanting to share. And y'all definitely
he reached out to you. He told you he makes $250,000. That's what he said.
I've actually seen it. I've actually like seen the receipts of, this is the generation where a lot of people are showing like what they're making in certain accounts. And
wait, hold on. So did he log into his Chase.com, his Bank of America? That's what you're telling me.
we have screenshots. Yes. Not Bank of America. It's a particular bank. I can't think of what bank it was. Like, it's things that I just will not do again. I'm not flying out to nobody. And I need trucks pulled up. That just turned me up even more on like how you gotta come for me. Cause I mean, I got people in real life coming to me, but when you step into me and I'm looking at you face to face, if you don't back up, a lot of people don't even approach me because of that, because of how I, carry myself. They don't just be approaching me at gas stations and stuff like that. And I know that's the reason why a lot of men are intimidated. See how I do this?
Okay, now hold on.
Am I on?
So with Ashley, she'll start off with them already talking. Now this is the beginning of it, so we're gonna get it to the beginning of what she's talking about. I don't see anything intimidating about her so far. I don't. And a lot of women claim that men are intimidated by them. I just don't see that as the truth. I don't. Most men are not intimidated by women. And not in the way that they think anyway. Let's play this. Hit the like button, y'all. Hit the like button.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I'm out a little bit. I did a reel today. I'm trying to pop out a little bit.
I see you. The girls are here. The girl and the girl. All right. Hey, Mama. Hey, Miss Mama. We see you young and gifted. We see you, Mama.
Okay, so I just turned 34. I am a Capricorn. And I see you're a Capricorn.
Happy birthday.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Alrighty.
So I would say I joined because I've attracted a lot of brokies. A lot of guys that need me to help them. I never.
Why do y'all think that is? Why do y'all think a lot of these women who say men are intimidated by them keep attracting what they would call the brokies? Why do y'all think that is? Why? I want them to answer why they think they keep attracting the men who looking for them to take care of them. Why are you attracting that type of man? Because like I said yesterday, and I always say, you could tell the type of men that these women have dealt with. Men who don't have a house, don't have a car, don't have a job, don't have nothing, don't have a bank account. Like, they really attracting the bottom of the barrel. Why are they attracting that though? Why are men who don't have jobs and don't have a place they keep approaching you? You got to ask yourself that. I'm just saying. It's very telling when it comes to these women who are looking for men. A lot of them who are single, that's the type they keep attracting. The ones who think they're the bad bees and men are intimidated by them, they are the ones keep attracting men who don't have no jobs. Why all the broke men keep approaching y'all? You ain't never had a man that had his stuff together approach you. Why? That says a lot about you, in my opinion. Every man that approaches you don't have a job, they don't have a car, and they ain't got nothing, a pot to piss in and a window to throw it out. None of them. Why is that? Because that's not the reality for every woman. I'm shocked, because I don't think I've ever come across a man that's ever approached me in life who didn't have a job and who didn't have a car and who didn't have a money or anything. Like, what? Especially as grown adults. Now you can see if when you're young, of course, but I'm talking about grown, real grown. Like, what? Where y'all meeting this? This is the Pookie and Ray Rays they're talking about, who they're giving babies to. Why y'all keep attracting them type of guys? Y'all need to ask yourself that question. I'm just saying. They don't have nothing. Why is that? Let's continue.
got the guy that's buying me the gifts, and like now I had guys older guys who tried to trick on me in exchange for me to give them something, and I didn't want to do that, so I rejected that to try to be in a relationship with somebody who I needed to build up, and they never just we did 5 years and it just never worked. He would get a job, I would lose a job, I would have a job, then he wouldn't have the job. It just never worked. So I decided to just leave that and to get back out here. It's been years. My daughter will be 4 years old, so I haven't been in a relationship since then.
Okay. I think, before I ask, I think it's the way you're presenting yourself when you go out into the world. It could be that. But before we move forward, do you consent to be on a live and potentially all platforms?
Yes.
All right. Is your Instagram public?
Yes.
Urban Hunt, thank you for the super chat, sis. Came in late. What is this? An overweight gang member looking for love and wants money? Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. The overweight lover in the house. The overweight lover in the house. Y'all a trip. Thank you, Urban. Thank you for the super chat. No, she's just was explaining, Urban. She was just explaining how she keep attracting broke men and what else she said? She keep attracting the men who don't have nothing, and but she also says men are intimidated by her. We hear that all the time, that all the men are intimidated by these types of women. So that's just what she was just explaining to us. So we're gonna continue from here. Here we go.
Okay, give me 1 second.
I did join from my TikTok. This TikTok we own, all right.
Yes. Why you acting like you 50, 60, child? This TikTok girl, where do you think you at, girl? All right, give me the Insta, okay?
Okay, Anjanae, ANJ.
Okay.
_ Nicole.
Okay.
Oh, they said I'm a different person on IG.
It gives you hold me down. You have that energy about you.
Yeah, most definitely. You
do. Have you been that way in the past?
Yes.
Like, I'm gonna help you. Don't worry about it. I'm gonna help you.
Yeah. But why is she giving she will hold you down? It's her appearance. It's the extra weight. It's the bonnet or the scarf on her head, the outfit, even though she got the titties out, it's still giving mama bear. Like, you know what I mean? That's what it's giving, like mama bear. Like, I'm gonna take care of you and I'm gonna feed you. We're gonna eat good. But I need you to show me, reciprocate it. It's like, yeah, she do look like one of them hold me down types. Here she do. I don't know what she looks like in other scenarios, but she do look like an older woman who like, I got your back. You know what I'm saying? Like, so that's probably why the men with no money approach her, because she looked like she gonna feed you and take care of you. I'm just saying. Let's continue.
Got it. Like, yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's what it is. And I also think it's just the way, it's your energy. I want you to work on that. I want you to work on not being so giving and allowing people to earn that. You have to allow people to earn that. You can't just give that away for free.
Yes.
Does that make sense?
These people is hilarious on here. Yes. You know what though? Okay, so I have a situation where I did meet this guy. He makes over $250,000 a year. He's very wealthy. I met him two times, but on the occasion that I met him, he didn't fly me out. I went to Miami on my own. I actually went during my birthday. It was like during my birthday time into the new year. So I was like celebrating myself and all my accomplishments, but I met him at the same time. So every time that I met him, it was my own money.
So how did you meet him initially? Like initially, how did y'all meet and where did you meet?
Facebook. Yes.
Okay, so he reached out to you. He told you he makes $250,000. That's what he said.
I've actually seen it. I've actually like seen the receipts of, this is the generation where a lot of people are showing like what they're making in certain accounts based off what they do.
So
And
wait, hold on. So did he log in to his Chase.com, his Bank of America? That's what you're telling me.
we have screenshots. Yes. Yes. Not Bank of America. It's a particular bank. I can't think of what bank it was. But he also showed even uh you know how you have PayPal, and PayPal allows you during like if you have business, PayPal business, it allows you to see the type of money that you can access, like the credit line that you have available even on there. And so he teaches on platforms, and so he makes a lot of his money off teaching a lot of his courses and things of that nature as well.
Did he show you what was in his PayPal? Like how much money was in
Like
the
he
PayPal?
posted it on his page, yes. Like he posted the access that he has just from off of people buying his courses and things like that.
That stuff could definitely be. There's so many scammers who have faked that. Like people fake that all the time. There's a lot of people have been busted in their scams. They don't. They present like they're making a certain amount of money just to make you buy into their scam. So they have to make you believe that it's profitable for you to buy into it, because when something is thriving and working, people want to, they want to buy into it. But if it's not making money, people go after things that are already successful. They don't usually go after something that's failing. You know what I mean? Or a startup. It's very difficult, especially in a Black community, to have a startup, where you're starting small. A lot of people don't want to invest in startups. They want to attach themselves to something that's already working. So that's a known thing that even back in the day, there was this what it was called. My husband knew about it. Damn, there was this something that you could get into, like this some type of marketing thing where you sign up and you sign other people up, and then you get paid off of them. They used to have like conventions and meetings and things like that. And so what the people would do, they would buy these mansions, like buy, $500,000 houses out here in Texas, like buy an expensive house and get an expensive, get an expensive car, get an expensive house. And you use that as a tool to show people, hey, that you're really making good money off of this, to make them, to persuade them to buy into it, to sign up. If they see you driving a expensive car, you got a big house, and they would use those things to show as, hey, we're making good money. Look what we have. And so they would get you to sign up, and it's not a guarantee that you're going to make that type of money or be able to buy those things. But that people use certain metrics and certain tools to prove that they're thriving. And in many cases, they're lying. A lot of people post fake houses online, claiming that it's theirs, fake cars and fake jewelry and all of this stuff to make you think that that is theirs. In reality, it's not. They're using that to reel you in. Come on now. Everybody should know that by now. This is scammers, have made millions and millions of dollars off of scamming people off of different type of businesses, scam businesses, and using money, houses and things to make you think that, oh, it's possible for you to make this kind of money. You can have this big mansion too, and you can have this too. They do it all the time. So people will lie about that. Yeah, pyramid schemes. Yes. Yeah, all that's been common, but that's what they do. Like, come on. Let's continue. Any person who actually is making a lot of money is not going to put their actual bank accounts and their financial statements and none of that online. Come on now. They're not going to do it. The people who actually make good money, they're not putting that on. They're not putting their financial online. They're not. They're just not. Let's continue.
He's very popular, whatever, on Facebook, Instagram. On Instagram, he have over 100K followers. So a lot of people do purchase his courses. A lot of people show up to his classes. He do classes like New York, Atlanta. Whether he's scamming or not, that's on him. I don't go that far into his business, but he do get a lot of business just from people purchasing his courses and taking his classes.
Okay, so he sells courses. Okay, you say he says who he is, and then you guys met through Facebook. So he reached out to you.
Yes.
All right, and then when he reached out to you, what did he say? Like, hey, Young and Gifted, I want to get together. Can we go out? What was that conversation? I want to take you on a date.
Pretty much, it was just him kind of figuring me out, asking me questions. Me and him asking questions about him being interested in polygamy, monogamy. We just kind of was having casual conversation there. I let him know that I was going to be in Miami while he was having an event. And he was like, hey, pull up. Now, the event that he was, this particular event, he was charging $500 for each person to get on the yacht that he had rented. So when I told him I would be in Miami, which I did that intentionally, and he was like, oh, pull up. And he sent me the address. And so I pulled up and I met him at the yacht. So I kind of did it that way where I was meeting him, but I never depended on him to try to, I never want to be the female where it's like, oh, this man have to fly me out, do this, do this, do that. And I don't know him yet. Like I need to learn someone on my own before we start exchanging in that type of way, because I feel like people in return want something right away when it's you don't even know me.
Right. But I think
Bakesh Edwards, thank you so much for the super sticker. I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you for the support. Let's continue, guys.
A man who has money, I'm not saying they don't want something. But if, you know, they like you, they're willing to go the extra mile. So if you had to pay to get to Miami, you said you were already spending your birthday there, right? You went to the boat party. Did you have to pay the $500 for the boat party?
No, he just gave me the address to pull up. He let me in for free.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So she didn't have to pay you guys.
No, I didn't have to pay. No. And then he dropped me off. He was driving his blue Corvette. So he dropped me off at my Airbnb and he asked me what I was getting into that night. I just kept it real cute. I'm going in the house, you know, and I'm relaxing. He was like, would you like to do brunch tomorrow? So this is where I cut him off because I didn't hear from him the next day. And when I reached back out to him, he was like, oh, everybody left. And I was like, oh, what? Everybody left? I thought you were just asking me to go to brunch, you know? And so pretty much I stopped talking to him. And recently...
Wait, I don't understand. What do you mean everybody? So everybody left?
He had an event. Remember? This was the event that he had going on. He had an event on the yacht. And then he had a class the next day that he was teaching in like a Marriott classroom setting.
Okay.
And so he was saying everybody pretty much left and went back to home and where they were coming from. But that threw me off because you asked me when you dropped me off, would I like to do brunch tomorrow? So it just didn't. So then I feel like he just played me. That for me, that's like you played me. So I cut him off. I didn't even talk to him no more after that.
Wait, so was that
something ain't adding up? Something ain't adding up. Something is not adding up. So he offered you the brunch, and then he said everybody left, and then that was the reason behind you saying, "Oh, I'm not gonna talk to him no more." Something don't seem right. Something don't seem right. Chantel, thank you for the super chat. Says trying to get a bag. We all know that she literally swallowed everything that he was willing to feed her. Bet she can still taste the lies. Thank you, Chantel, for the super chat. I appreciate you. Yeah, some with this is not adding up. I don't know. Let's hear more.
The intention to go to Miami to meet him, was that the real intention? Young and keep it real.
No. Yes. That's what I was telling you from the beginning. Yes, but I still set it up to where it wasn't all dependent on him. I still took myself out to a dinner date. I went to the beach. I had a cousin who was in town. We went to a New Year's Eve party. Like I still had my own life. I did not just go down there for a man and he had me looking silly.
Okay. So you still set things up, but ultimately you were kind of there for him. Ultimately.
Right.
Although you made sure you had fun and you had things planned, but ultimately.
Right. And I did leave it alone. That's the point, y'all. Why y'all trying to be negative? Listen to the story.
Oh, we listen.
So after he did that to me when he said everybody left and you had just personally asked me to brunch, I was just like, no, for me, that was my flag to get up out of there because now you playing me. That you play. You knew I was down here. Part of the reason I was down here for you because we had previously been trying to figure out when can we link. Anyways, I'm a single mother. So my kids have to be in play. I have to make sure babysitters, somebody can have them for the weekend and things of that nature. And he knew that.
But that's what I'm saying, young and gifted. That's why I keep.
Is it me or what? Maybe, you know, I don't know, because I'm not trying to say the wrong thing, but if a man is interested in you, I'm just saying, right? I mean, I'm from the old school, so I don't consider myself a modern woman. I don't. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just like, from back in the day, if a dude was interested in you, you know, once again, those back then men, they you know, they paid for the date. Okay, they want to take you out. They think you nice. They think you cute. They pay. They take you out. You don't have to be nothing all extravagant. They pick. You know, I don't. You know, usually the woman don't pick where she going, so she can't pick. Oh, I want to go to Maestro's, or I want to go here or there, something super expensive. No, they pick. They go. They decide where they want to take you. You go. You have a good time. You talk to them or whatever. But they pay for it. So I'm like, I don't. A lot of these modern women are so quick to jump and jump states for a dude. I just couldn't see myself. And I'm back in the day. These are modern women, so they're different. Like, I'm not jumping states for you, and I don't know you. I'm not. Nah. You know. If you want to take me, if you want to travel, travel with, my thing is, look, you gonna pay for me to travel there, or we gonna travel somewhere together or something like that. I'm not jumping up and going to a whole different state for somebody I don't know that I met on the gram or whatever. These women be doing too much, in my opinion. But they are moving a lot differently, because a lot of these women are going out, to meet these guys because they hooking up with them for one. These be hookups a lot of times. And God knows what, they jumping up, going meet somebody on the ground because they DM them grand rising beautiful and like, oh, I want you to come out, and then they send you just go. Like, the way they move now is really scary to me. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't imagine or fathom doing something like that. Like, this is a new time. I mean, some of this stuff is just wow. They're just meeting up with total strangers and going way somewhere you're not even familiar with. You don't know if he could be an axe murderer. You don't know who he could be. You know what I mean? You don't know if he just buried somebody before you got there. Like, they just don't think about that kind of stuff. And you just go off, and first off, and you don't even know. No, that's weird to me. VR Mission 38 says this story has too many moving parts and makes absolutely zero sense. I agree. Something ain't adding up, VR Mission. Something ain't adding up. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate you. Yeah, it's too much. They're going out, getting flued out. They're so happy. These are the most educated and they've done everything, but they'd be so happy to get flown out somewhere. They just jump with the quickness, thought plot their wig on. And then they go and they be having kids, and you leaving your kids behind to go see some stranger. Like, that don't add up to me. I'm like, come on now. Y'all doing too much for people y'all don't know. It's just kind of scary and weird. Let's continue.
Keep saying this because I'm like, so ultimately the trip was for him, because now you're saying, as a mom, you have to watch it and things like that. And I think moving forward, I don't think it's a good idea for any ladies watching this live right now. I don't care who you are, to fly out to meet a man, because that to most men can feel a little bit desperate. That's what that can feel like. No. Although you were smart enough to say, you know what? All right, he seems a little off. Maybe he wasn't having no brunch. Maybe he wasn't, he's trying to finesse me. Whatever. You were smart enough to walk away. Right. But to go out of your way, it feels that way. It feels a little desperate. And I don't want you moving like that. Right. Or any of the girls here.
Because I'm real confident. I don't care about nothing what they talking about in them comments. Because at the end of the day, baby, my aura shine bright in every room I step in. They looking. So y'all can say what y'all want to say. Y'all can say I'm goofy, look silly, blah, blah, blah. Baby, I'm winning. I'm just, I'm just getting back out here trying to date. And, it's not easy. It's not easy to meet somebody that's really trying to do something and change, their situation and really be bossed up. you gotta boss people up and level them up. No, like, no, you need to come already together, already healed. Like, I just need somebody that's already healed and ready to make
And
me.
so what I'm hearing too is that it's like, you know what? I took a chance because I like his hustle. I like that he was making money from the outside looking in. And you were
Right,
like, you know what? This should be with a guy that I want to be with because he's on top of his stuff.
right,
That's what I'm hearing. So you were
right,
willing to take that chance.
right.
Yeah, but that's not how you go about it. Just go out and find places where people are, where men are, and talk to men. A lot of these women, I said it before, y'all gonna have to start approaching. You see a guy approaching. If he's single, have a conversation with him. I don't think there's anything. This is a modern world, modern society. Years ago, I probably wouldn't have said that, but now I just feel, like it's a different game now. If you see somebody that you're interested in, you gonna have to start approaching, big back and all. I mean, just go see if he's interested in big bags. If he is, he'll let you know. If he ain't, if he not, well, keep it moving. Go approach somebody else. Find somebody that's gonna be interested in what you got going on, and y'all figure things out. Like, I think women, you got to stop because it's causing them to make poor decisions still. Like, there's no way in the world a single mother, in my opinion, should be traveling out to see a man like that you barely know. You know what I mean? I don't condone it. I think you need to get to know them a bit more before you go traveling out to see them. And then, I don't know. And then, I think a little differently. I don't believe in long distance relationships either. I think you need to be where we can see each other every day or every other day or whatever. You know what I'm saying? We need to be able to get to know each other. We need to be able to hang out and talk and have conversations. I don't know. That's just me. But this is a new world, y'all. Listen, so people do things differently. I don't believe in long distance relationships, though. I just think that's you too far. How we gonna, I need to be able to see you. So anyway, but still, like, you need to get to know a person well enough before you jumping on a plane to go to where they are and all of that. You know what I'm saying? But I think women really need to start approaching seriously, for real. Let's continue.
Because it was education in it too, as well. I was still learning as well. So at the end of the day, I do take away from the relationship. It was things that he taught me just by me going through that. And like you're saying, like, it's things that I just will not do again. I'm not flying out to nobody, and I need trucks pulled up. I said, now that just turned me up even more on, like, how you got to come for me. Because, I mean, I got people in real life coming to me, but when you step into me and I'm looking at you face to face, if you don't back up, a lot of people don't even approach me because of that, because of how I, carry myself. They don't just be approaching me at gas stations and stuff like that. And I know that's the reason why a lot of men are intimidated.
No, ma'am, I don't agree. I think maybe they're not approaching you because they're just not attracted to you. Bottom line, it's not about intimidation. They're just not attracted to you. What you think about yourself does not mean that every man sees you the way you see you. You might think you everything in 10 bags of chips. Every man is not looking at you that way. Because if a man is attracted to you and he's single and he want to approach you, he's going to approach you. If he's looking your way and he don't see nothing that he likes, he's not going to approach. It's not all about intimidation. What is he intimidated by? What you have on? Your size? What? That's what you have to ask yourself. Like, what is he intimidated by if he does not know you? If you have a good aura, like she said, about yourself, that would be more inviting. That means that a person would be, you would give off an inviting presence. That means if a man sees you and he's attracted, your aura, you say you have a good, that means the aura about you would invite them in to come and talk to you. So do you look mad all the time? What, you don't look like a mad person, really. Like, do you look pissed off or what? That might deter somebody away from you. If that's not it and you have a pleasant personality, if a man is attracted to you, I don't see no reason why he wouldn't be why he wouldn't approach you. I don't see anything that's intimidating in front of me now. So what is it? Once you get off social media, you become intimidating? What is it? You have to ask yourself, what is it that you think is intimidating about you? And if you think that you're that intimidating for a man to approach you, maybe you need to change something about that. If that's what you really think. The same way, women overweight women don't get approached by men. It's not because they're intimidated. It's because they're not attracted to overweight women. Maybe that could be a factor. That, you know, you got to think of. You can't just you got to think a little bit more deeply into the situation. It's not always it's not about intimidation. What are they intimidated by? I don't know. Let's continue.
And so
I just want you to, because it sounds like you have a good heart. That's what it sounds like, Young and Gifted.
yes.
And I see where your heart is, but I don't want, because you want love, and this goes for all the girls out there who want love, I don't want you to move in desperation. I don't want that for you, because someone's going to see that, take advantage, want you to hold them down, want you to do all of the things. So what I want you to do is work on you and focus on you, right?
Yes.
So
yes.
having your routine every morning, I'm
Yes.
not saying you're not confident or you don't love who you are. I'm not saying that. But I want you to have a routine. You're going to the gym. You're focusing on you. You're not even thinking about meeting anyone.
Yes,
because
I'm
when
not.
you least think about it, they'll come your way.
So I have to be at work at 6:30 in the morning. I'm up at 4 or 5 a.m. working out. That's what I'm saying. So I really ain't caring what people talking about. I'm literally journaling. I'm writing. I'm being guided by God. He is revealing things to me. He's helping me to heal my inner child. What a lot of these people who in the comments judging, doing, a lot of them not even doing the work. Because if you was doing the work, you will be spreading positivity and good energy on here, not judging somebody, not judging. So I ain't even worried about nothing they saying. But what I will say is I appreciate you for your time, taking your time to do this day in and out. I know this take a lot of energy, and I just appreciate you for taking me and spreading the love and pouring it to me, because everybody don't have mamas and aunties and certain things and certain people. And then you look so good. You 61, right?
Yes, darling.
You look so amazing, and I just appreciate you giving me this wisdom. And I will most definitely be coming back to tell you my testimony, how I'm going to be engaged when it's my time. To a man that's going to be buying me gifts, flying me out, baby, all of that. I'm going to come back and tell my testimony.
Let them know, honey. Thank you for coming up here, Young and Gifted. I wish you all the best. And I commend you for having the courage to share your story. I know that takes a lot to be up here. So I commend you for coming up and asking a question. You are definitely helping someone else out.
Yes.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay. Shout out to her, you know, Young and Gifted. That's her name. I didn't even see that. Shout out to her. You know, hopefully she gets what she's looking for. She didn't seem like a mean person. But, you know, I think, you know, you got to learn from your mistakes. You know, you learn when you're making a mistake and you do better. That's it. You know what I'm saying? And so, you know, it is what it is, child. But I just want women to stop saying that every man is intimidated. Men are not intimidated by you, boo. Unless you are super attractive. Unless you are a drop dead, gorgeous. Body is the way y'all like it, however that is. If you see a woman that's super gorgeous, beautiful, and you really looking at her like, God damn, like Trey, look at what's her name? Trey, like you look at what's her name? That's you might be, when you see her in real life, you might be a little intimidated. Because you're like, damn, she looks so good. I don't know if I should approach her or not. Bernice, right? Maybe you might, maybe I could understand if a man sees a woman that he's super attracted to like that, like that's your, you know what I'm saying? Like she looks so good, and you might be like, damn, I might be a little nervous to approach her because I don't know what she's gonna say. I think that might be normal, but this idea that every man is just intimidated by any woman out here, no, they don't want you. 9 times out of 10, if a man, and women talk about men just stare from a distance, yeah, they staring at your big back. They saying, God damn, her back is big. You know what I'm saying? They're not staring because they want you. They over there thinking, well, he's just staring, but they don't approach. Men will just stare. They'll just stare. And a lot of them these men are thinking they so beautiful and they so great looking. No, ma'am, they just staring because they saying how big your back is. They saying, nah, that's why they don't approach. If they were interested, they would approach, and they're not intimidated. You just not their cup of tea. So I think women have got this idea in their heads that, you know, they're so great looking and they're so this and so that, and all these men are just intimidated. When no, I don't, especially, I mean, and no shade to the woman. Like I said, she seemed nice enough. She didn't seem mean or anything. And I'll give her that. But a lot of these women out here be 300 and 400, 280 at least. Big backs and all that. And because they got a wig on and some makeup, they think they're a bad bitch. And they think, oh, these men just staring because, girl, they can't handle us. Girl, no, they looking like, God damn, one of her legs is bigger than this whole body. That's what they're thinking. Damn, I can't handle all that. Like, one of her legs is bigger than his whole torso, legs and whole goddamn body. He like, ooh, I can't handle that. They're not saying what y'all think they're saying. They're over there saying something different. That's why they staring like they say they can't believe their eyes. Not because you're so beautiful. Shit, it's they always think like that, and they keep going with that narrative, and nobody's approaching them, and they think they're the best thing since sliced bread, big and all. Big backs and all, and it's like, no, they're thinking, damn, she cute. Maybe she cute, but if she could lose 100 pounds, maybe that's the they're having a totally different conversation than the one that women are believing and feeling that they're thinking. They're not looking at you for the reasons you're thinking. But that's because a lot of women are entitled. They think that they got it all together, and all the men should just be worshiping them and following. These men ain't doing that. A lot of times, either the men ain't even pay you no mind. They're just looking. Sometimes men will look and they ain't really even look. They looking through you. You know what I mean? It's like, you ever been somewhere where somebody look like they looking at you, like from a distance, and they look because they're looking in your general direction, and look like from a distance they're looking at you, but they looking through you at something else. Or sometimes people just be staring in a distance. They don't even see you. I've seen people walk up, why you staring at me? And they like, I wasn't even looking at you. I was just looking at such and such. I was staring. Nigga, I ain't, like sometimes people just staring in the distance. They don't really be even seeing you. You be invisible to them. But, a lot of these women swear that these men are intimidated and they're just staring at them because they're so great but they won't approach you at all. So it's just a lot of different factors that you have to consider. They're so entitled and so stuck on themselves. They think that every man out here is looking at them like they're the prize and want to work. And no, these men are not. They're really not. So this is why I say y'all going to have to start approaching the men that y'all think are attractive. You start approaching the men that you think are attractive. Approach the men, that you see out here. You got to start approaching. That way, at least the man will know, hey, you're interested because you approached him. And then if he sees something, if he like you back, then y'all could have a conversation. And if not, keep going about your business. You know what I'm saying? All right, y'all. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap this one up. Thank y'all so much for being here. Make sure you guys hit that like button on your way out. Shout out to everybody in the building, everybody watching. I appreciate you guys. I appreciate your comments, girls and the guys, because women who watch the channel always say I shout out the men and I don't shout out to them. But we do have women who watch the channel. Shout out to all the ladies who watch the channel and support the channel, and the men as well. I appreciate you guys for all the support and love, for making me laugh, child, because this this is pure entertainment. It really is. But I appreciate you guys for your support, watching, sharing your thoughts, all that good stuff. Make sure you are watching the channels the videos that are posted on the channel. Y'all go over and at least hit the like button, watch it. Hit the like button on the videos that are already posted. Also share and like the videos if you can. Hit that notification bell to be notified when I upload new content or go live. All right. So once again, shout out to y'all. Thank y'all so much for being here. I will be back really, really soon. Make sure you have that bell clicked on all so you will get all of the content. That way you won't miss out when I go live or post new videos. All right. So thank y'all once again for being here. I appreciate you guys so much. Y'all stay blessed, stay safe, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye.